What you need in the building? How's everybody doing this beautiful day? Today is uh today is Tuesday, the 26th of the month of March. So the month of March is coming to an end. All praise be to the Most High God. The Most High God comes first and foremost in our lives. I'm what you need. You're watching my channel. And as you can see from the title, if you can't see from the title, we're going to talk about size and dimensions because I've seen a lot of that talk of late. Um, People mentioning size and dimensions a lot. And sometimes it matters and sometimes it doesn't matter. Okay. Sometimes it matters and sometimes it doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about that a little bit here on this stream. Okay, that's what we're going to be talking about. So for those of you tuning in, I've tried several tests on YouTube uh, to get this up and popping. I said, you know what, let me just try StreamYard. So let me get into it first and foremost. Most High comes first. The Most High is the best. I got just one little nugget for you guys. The Most High, in my opinion, is not like us in the sense of this. We are people who say one strike, two strike, three strikes, you're out. The Most High will give us a chance. He'll give us a chance to redeem ourselves, even beyond that, because He's merciful. But don't take His mercy for granted. Uh, don't take every day that you get up and you're healthy and strong for granted. Okay, that's what I got to say for you guys when it comes to that. Run with it. Do what you do. All right. On this channel, you can support this channel, and the only way you can support this channel at this present point in time is to click that link there. That's my PayPal link. You can give me donations via PayPal. I get only money through you guys. I am not, this channel is not maintained by anybody else, but actually by fans. Secondly, if you want to join in here, chop it up with me, that's not a problem. You can appear as a guest. You just simply click the link that you see right there on StreamYard, and we get it popping. Now, there's a number of fights that's coming down. In fact, this particular weekend, we're going to have a fight with an extremely tall, extremely long fighter in Sebastian Fonfora, and he'll be taking on Tim Tszyu. And this was the last minute notice, 12 days before the fight. There was a change in opponent, as you guys already know, between Keith Thurman and Tim Tszyu. Keith Thurman came out with an injury, and Sebastian Fonfora has replaced him. A lot of people talk about how the challenges are going to be Sebastian's height, and it's going to be his reach and his activity. And to some degree, that is true. But I think a lot of fans fall for the traps that are set. Now, if you look at the title picture for this video, it's Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia, which we talked about yesterday, that fight. And why that's so interesting, and don't remember, you guys can join the conversation in the chat, or you can join the conversation right here as a guest. You can come in here. I think we can get more done if we stay in here as guests, because now we can have a conversation. Whereas, in the chat and just me talking, yeah. But anyway, I showed this because something that a lot of you guys don't know is Hector Garcia had a longer reach than Gervonta Tank Davis. And I want to show you Hector Garcia's dimensions. I think he's not called Abdul Wahid yet on BoxRec. I'm going to type in Gervonta Davis and talk about his last couple of opponents. All right, so Gervonta Tank Davis, for those of you who don't know, maybe I should use my phone. Gervonta Tank Davis, let me give you his height and his reach, okay? Okay. Okay, here's his height and his reach. Gervonta, also known as Abdul Wahid, now, He's 5'5.5". He's a very short, compact guy. So Javante is only 5'5.5", and his reach, he has a 67.5-inch reach. Okay. Okay. Now he fought Hector Luis Garcia back in 2023, January of 2023. He fought Hector Luis Garcia. Hector Luis Garcia is 5'9" with a 67-inch reach. A shorter reach than Javante, allegedly. But he's much taller than Javante. And if you looked at the fight between Hector Garcia and Javante, Hector Garcia was keeping Javante at bay for a considerable portion of the fight. We can also look at Javante Davis versus Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios hold on one second. Let me just get that. Okay, hold on one second. Good. Mario Barrios is 6 feet tall with a 71-inch reach, right? Now, both opponents, Javante Davis stopped. Both opponents, Javante Davis was able to close the distance and get to. Okay? Both of them, right? So the question really, a lot of times we look at the height and reach of guys, and we say, because this guy is so long and this guy is so tall, that it's difficult for another opponent, or should I say impossible for another opponent to beat them, and we automatically give them the win. I think of Thomas Hearns all the time. Thomas Hearns had like an 84-inch reach. He was like 6'1", and people say that he would beat Floyd Mayweather, and a lot of people just don't know shit about boxing, so they would say that. But Tyson Fury has a great height and a great reach, and we saw Francis Ngannou, who has had zero pro fight experience, knock him down. Okay, we've seen Ryan Garcia had superior height and reach to Tank Davis, and Tank Davis got him out of there. He dropped him once, he dropped him twice. Okay, so superior height and reach. Tank Davis had superior height and reach over Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz was getting to that body. So height and reach, size, are only applicable, and they only matter when they can be used as tools in a fight for a fighter to win the fight. Okay? And so when people say, Paul Williams, you'd have been a problem for Floyd. Well, let's think about this. Sebastian Fundora, is he going to be a problem for Tim Tszyu? Let's think of Callum Smith and Floyd and Canelo Alvarez. Was Callum Smith a problem for Canelo Alvarez? He had superior height and reach. He was 6'3". He had like a 78-inch reach or something like that on Canelo. So height and reach are only as good as they can be utilized. Paul Williams didn't fight outside the pocket. He fought within the pocket, deep in the pocket. Sebastian Fundora will not be fighting outside the pocket, where his height and reach would be maximized as a benefit. No, he's going to be fighting within the pocket. Okay? Fundora falls in the spirit of Paul Williams, Tony Margarito. Okay? Those guys fought in close, within the pocket. even though they were much taller, much longer than their opponents. They would use their long jabs to get to the inside, which is counterintuitive, but that's what they did. So, with that given style, they kind of nullify some of the advantages they have. Yes, they're tall, so their heads are still way up in the air. You still have to reach their heads, but their body would be right there to chop down the tree. Don't have to work as hard because you know they're coming to you. You don't have to go find them. So the style of the opponent, the experience of the opponent, the IQ of the opponent, the that will either help or hurt them in terms of their attributes, their physical attributes that they possess, strength of the opponent as well, the power of the opponent. All of these things are factors which help the opponent. It depends on who their opponent is as well, whether their opponent has the skill set or the IQ to be able to exploit where they are not, where they are, vulnerable. So what I'm saying to you is size and dimensions only matter if the person who the boxer is facing utilizes those things to their advantage properly, which means they have to have a good sound knowledge of boxing and be fighting with a versatility where they can optimize those attributes. The versatility, not just good at one thing. If you're just good at walking down opponents off the end of your stick, what happens? Can you infight? Can you infight? So, what happens if you have to be pushed back? What happens if your opponent decides to not give you your preferred range to fight in? These are all things you have to ask yourself. So, excuse me, speaking on these general themes, let's look at specifics. Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora will use his long jab only to get to the inside where he wants to rumble. What happens if Tim Tszyu denies him that inside to rumble with, picks him up off the outside? When Fundora tries to throw that long jab, Fundora is not particularly explosive, particularly fast. He's just a guy who's a hard worker, throws a lot of punches, where there's a lot of spaces in his defense as a result of that. So while he's very busy, throws a lot of punches, switch hits and stuff like that, and he's trying to come get you. If Tim Tszyu will utilize angles and also get to Fundora's body early, he can start to slow down Fundora. He can also begin to tire out Fundora. And once Fundora loses enough steps, Tim Tszyu can crash him and get him out of there. It's that simple. Now, some people are talking about other things, but I don't want to go into that right now. I thought I would just wrap that up right there. I'm what you need. I hope that you guys got some sort of education on this, because a lot of people get carried away with power. They get carried away with dimensions of fighters. You see somebody with speed and powder, but you don't know how strong they are. You see some people with their size, they're able to do certain things against certain fighters. But once they meet a certain fighter of a certain skill set, it becomes very difficult for them, etc., etc., etc. The styles make fights. I'll catch you guys later. I am what you need. Peace.